There are rebellions that change the course of history. There are leaders whose names echo through the ages, becoming symbols of resistance against tyranny. And there is one man whose name is the purest, most defiant expression of the desire to break the chains of slavery: Spartacus. So, who was this Thracian gladiator who brought the Roman Republic to its knees and shattered its mightiest armies? His story was not written in an arena of blood and sand, but began in a heart burning with the fire of freedom. This is the story of how a slave became a legend. The early years of Spartacus's life are shrouded in the mists of history. It is believed he was born around 111 BC in Thrace, in the territory of modern-day Bulgaria. According to some sources, he served as a mercenary in the Roman army, but later deserted, became a bandit, and was eventually captured and enslaved. Another theory suggests he was taken prisoner while fighting against Rome. Whatever the reason, fate brought Spartacus to the heart of Italy, to the city of Capua. Here, he was sold to a gladiator school owned by a man named Lentulus Batiatus. A ludus, or gladiator school, was a reflection of hell on earth. Every day they lived face to face with death, forced to kill each other for the entertainment of wealthy Romans. Discipline was enforced with the whip, and obedience with the fear of death. But Spartacus was different. He refused to submit to his fate. The fire of freedom within him, instead of being extinguished in the bloody sands of the arena, blazed even brighter. He saw the same spark in the other gladiators around him. Powerful warriors like the Gauls Crassus and Oenomaus. They were not just fighting machines. They were men whose honor and lives had been stolen. In 73 BC, the inevitable moment arrived. Spartacus and about 70 of his comrades prepared an escape plan. When their plot was discovered, they didn't hesitate. Grabbing cleavers, spits, and knives from the kitchen, they attacked the guards. When years of accumulated rage combined with their military skills, nothing could stop them. They broke down the gates of the school and poured into the streets of Capua. Though they were a small group at first, their goal was large. They took refuge on the slopes of the nearby Mount Vesuvius. This place became both a sanctuary and a rallying point for them. News of Spartacus's rebellion spread like wildfire. Slaves from the fields, shepherds, runaways from Rome. Tens of thousands of people with nothing to lose, but their chains flocked to Vesuvius, following this new hope. Rome, however, did not take the situation seriously at first. To them, this was a simple slave revolt that could be easily suppressed. They dispatched a force of 3,000 recruits under the command of Praetor Claudius Glaber to crush the rebellion. The Roman army blocked the only path up the mountain, thinking they would achieve an easy victory by starving the slaves into submission. But they had underestimated Spartacus and his ingenuity. Spartacus made a move that no one expected. He ordered his men to weave sturdy ladders from the wild vines on the mountain. Under the cover of darkness, they silently descended a steep cliff face where the army least expected it and attacked the unprepared Roman camp from the rear. The victory was absolute and overwhelming. This unexpected triumph instantly made Spartacus's name known throughout all of Italy. He was no longer just a fugitive, but a leader challenging Rome itself. The defeat of Glaber caused a surge in recruitment for the rebellion. Spartacus's army quickly grew to 70,000, and according to some sources, even 120,000 people. But this was not a disorderly mob. It was an army shaped by the military genius of Spartacus. They were equipped with captured Roman weapons. They fought with guerrilla tactics in small groups, and they defeated Rome's arrogant generals one by one. In a panic, Rome sent the armies of 2 consuls against them at once, but it was in vain. Spartacus's army repeatedly routed the disciplined Roman legions. They marched from one end of Italy to the other. Their goal was now to cross the Alps and reach the homelands of the slaves, Gaul and Thrace, to give them back their freedom. When the army reached the north of Italy, at the foot of the Alps, they came to a crossroads that would change the fate of the rebellion. Spartacus wanted to leave these dangerous lands and for everyone to return home. However, some commanders, led by Crassus, wanted to stay in Italy to continue plundering the rich cities and seek revenge. This disagreement led to the division of the Unbeatable army. Crassus, with about 30,000 men under his command, turned south and was soon ambushed and killed by a Roman army. This was the first major blow to the rebellion. The Roman Senate now understood how serious the matter had become. They appointed a new commander vested with special powers to solve this slave problem, Marcus Licinius Crassus. Crassus was the richest man in Rome, and he made this war a personal matter of honor. He raised a massive army of 8 legions, financed from his own fortune. Crassus was a ruthless and disciplined commander. He did not hesitate to punish a cowardly unit in his army with a terrifying punishment called decimation, where 1 in every 10 soldiers was killed by their own comrades. After the death of Crassus, Spartacus led his army south again, to the very tip of Italy. His plan was to cross to Sicily and continue the rebellion there. For this purpose, he made a deal with Cilician pirates. He offered them a fortune to transport his army to Sicily. However, the pirates took the money and then betrayed him, disappearing without a trace. This betrayal was the beginning of the end for Spartacus. Crassus seized the opportunity. He had a wall and trench constructed across the narrowest part of Italy's boot, approximately 55 kilometers long and 4.5 meters deep, trapping Spartacus's army in the south. The slave army was now in a cage. Winter had set in, and their provisions were gone. In an act of desperate courage, the rebels managed to breach Crassus's fortifications one night, but they suffered heavy losses in the process. They had nowhere left to run. Crassus's legions were in pursuit, and another Roman general, Pompey, was returning from his victory in Spain and approaching from the south. The year is 71 BC. Near the Silarus River, history was about to witness one of its bloodiest battles. Before the fighting began, Spartacus's horse was brought to him. According to legend, he looked at his horse, drew his sword, and said, "If I am victorious, I will have many better horses. If I am defeated, I will have no need for one." And he killed his horse. This was a message that there was no turning back, that there was no option but victory or death. The final battle was a true fight to the death. Spartacus and his men fought with incredible bravery against the Roman legions, who were far superior in numbers and equipment. It is said that Spartacus himself tried to cut through the enemy lines to reach Crassus personally, but was wounded, fell to his knees, and continued to fight until his last breath. The result was a total slaughter for the rebels. Spartacus's body was never found among the tens of thousands of corpses on the battlefield. To make an example of them to Rome, Crassus crucified the 6,000 captured slaves along the Appian Way, the road from Capua to Rome. This was a terrifying declaration of Rome's power and what awaited those who dared to rebel. Spartacus and his army had been destroyed. Rome had eliminated the danger. Pompey even tried to claim the honor of finishing the war by mopping up the last of the fugitives. But while history may be written by the victors, legends are born from the people. Spartacus may have been defeated militarily, but the idea he represented, the irrepressible human desire for freedom, never died. He was not just a gladiator or a rebel leader. He became the universal symbol of uprising against injustice and tyranny. His body may have been left on that bloody battlefield, but his name and his struggle have inspired the oppressed, the downtrodden, and all who wish to break their chains for the 2,000 years that followed. Because the story of Spartacus proves that even in the darkest of moments, a single spark of hope can set the world on fire. Thank you for watching this epic story of Spartacus with us. If you want to see more videos about inspiring figures from history like this one, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. See you in the next story.